So obviously with technology, with the what do you call this? With what's happening with the pandemic and everything, people's preferences are going to uh, buying online rather than going to the actual stores. This has generated revenues for many businesses, especially for e-commerce and what such. On the other side, on the flip side, there's also a negative side, which what the Banco Central was mentioning, the suspicious transaction reports or STRs is up in the first 8 months of 2020. So this is fueled by the phishing schemes, increased payments related to child pornography. So obviously, people are stuck at home, using their computers or mobile phones. So what are you supposed to do? And obviously, with better technology, people who want to take advantage has to evolve as well. So they're finding ways, some loopholes in terms of how to gain game you, or in a sense, take advantage of your uh, information, as well as scheme from you. So according to the Banco Central Anti-Money Laundering Council, or AMLC, Chairman Benjamin Jokno stated that the study found that a 57% increase on year to year for the first month of 2020. So obviously with people's with the lockdown that happened, this has dramatically increased the usage of internet as a whole, right? And based on the data or the study that they did, that nearly almost 50% of STRs or suspicious transactions report were related to skimming and phishing, with an estimated value of 2.7 million pesos. Pesos, let me see. Take a look here. Sorry, it's 2.7 billion pesos. That's right. So you can just imagine that illegal transactions have amounted to this much. So meaning it's a major problem that the government has to look into and evolve as a institution, because the proliferation of technology will only get better, and obviously bad elements will continue to take advantage of said loophole, so that they can generate millions, or in this case billions of pesos here. Another statistic that was provided here, 30% of suspicious transactions, as mentioned, is related to sexual exploitation of children. So obviously, I think government what has done in past is block off certain sites, but obviously, again, with technology, there are always ways to circumvent the process. And question is, what can the government do to stop those access? And again, the the exploitation of children is in the north of almost 90 million pesos here. So it's a big industry that the government needs to take into and find a way to stop and eliminate such bad actors. And another is transaction involving money mules or pass-through accounts. So it accounts for almost a little over 400 million pesos. That makes up 9% of the suspicious transactions during the period. And again, according to Mr. Jokno here, he underscores the need for covert persons to remain cautious, as money launderers and other bad elements, in this case criminals, may be abusing digital platforms, which have been largely adopted due to the pandemic. Obviously, it's not just businesses who adapt and evolve. Obviously, on the flip side, the bad elements will evolve as well. So it's a matter of the government doing their part, protecting the citizens. Also, the citizens, that's us. We need to do our part to be more vigilant, more aware, and be more cautious in terms of where we transact, how we transact, and what we give out in terms of information and so forth. Otherwise, we'll be in hot water. We'll be contributing to this industry, which we don't want to encourage and grow as well. And according to the study as well, they also found that there's been a rising trend of fraudster pretending to be affiliated with government units, which is, I think, is terrible, but it does happen. So what they do is solicit donations related to the pandemic. I don't think this is just an isolated incident, that they use other incidents as a case to get money from other people. And there were also incidents that was mentioned here, online shopping fraud schemes involving Bitcoin. So again, you have to be vigilant and be cautious in terms of how you deal with technology. If you're not familiar, you do your research, due diligence, you ask from people who are knowledgeable so that you're not taken advantage. And obviously, if your email or your text that you want something, nothing in life is for free. So be suspicious on that alone, unless it comes from your family, right? Anyway, and according to Mr. Jokno, he stated also that electronic money is yours, money service businesses, and other online fraud transfer services are advised to be vigilant. So again, it's not just the individuals, it's not just the government has to be vigilant, also other businesses that that relies on online transactions as their platform. Otherwise, people will be even more apprehensive of using their platform, and rather than go to the traditional way, which is we don't want to go back, right? If we want to remit money, we need to use their technology, but how do we safeguard that? So everyone has to do their part, right? And